Give someone a national book token and who knows where they'll end up.
Being in Edinburgh is rather like being on an opera set. It's so beautiful. If you walk along the streets in the old town, for example, you could well be on an operatic set. It's so lovely. So physically, it's a very beguiling city. It's a city of great physical interest. The different levels at which the old town is, for example, is absolutely fascinating. You walk upstairs and through little alleyways. Edinburgh is a city of character. It's still got a very distinctive character. Many cities in the world are becoming rather bland through globalization, that one place is becoming very much like the next place. Edinburgh still has that real character to it, which is very nice. It's a very particular character. In many parts of Edinburgh, if you would put down in parts of Edinburgh blindfold and then the blindfold taken off, you couldn't really mistake where you are. The streets, the steps with the indentations where these feet have been, they're there. The old sets or cobblestones, they're all there. There's this lovely texture to the city. You're very much aware of the past being just around the corner. We've traditionally had a lot of bookshops in Edinburgh. I'm very much in favour of the small independent ones because I think they really keep alive the idea of contact between bookseller and reader. People go into bookstores wanting to have a recommendation perhaps as to what they might like, and of course a good bookshop owner will do precisely that, will know what the customers want.
The shop has been open for 9 weeks, so we're new, and yeah, so far it's going really well. We're fairly central in the city, but there is a real community here, and we're already seeing that around the shop. We have, regulars come in, we have regular story times for children, and we have evening events and book clubs, and people are booking in to use the space for their own book clubs and their own groups. If books aren't visible, then that sort of community has nothing to gather around, really. If bookshops close and libraries are struggling or being endangered, then I think that you sort of lose a focus for that. And I think a bookshop can be a really natural focus for a community of readers.
The Scottish Art and Portrait Gallery in Queen Street is one of the great galleries of Scotland. It's a wonderful collection of portraits of people who have made Scotland what she is today. And I love coming here and just browsing amongst these faces of the past and indeed some of them of the present, and you get a real sense of the feel of Scotland. This particular bust, the Portrait Gallery very, very kindly displays this bust, which I do recognise. I recognise it in that I sat still for 3 days to get this thing done by wonderful sculptress Evelyn Peffers, and this is the result. It's a little bit embarrassing for me to come face to face with my alter ego, the bronze side of me, so to speak, walking up the stairs. But I also use the Portrait Gallery as a setting for some of my Edinburgh novels. Isabel Dalhousie, who's one of my Edinburgh characters, often comes to the Portrait Gallery for coffee or meets people outside the Portrait Gallery. I like having real locations within the city in the books. It adds to the realism, and it also adds to the sense of enjoyment of the city for me, that I'm able to incorporate it into my books in that way. The written word has always been very important in Scotland's life. This followed on the creation of a wonderful educational system after the Reformation, the idea that there would have to be a school in every parish and everybody would be educated. So there was a very strong commitment to the word and to education at an early stage in Scottish history. And so that obviously has had a cumulative effect, and this great affection for books and literature traditionally in Scotland. We're very fortunate in Edinburgh in that we do have probably more than our fair share of writers living in the city for a city of this size. So that's great good fortune, and that means that there's a good literary existence in the city. We have a wonderful book festival, which is I think the largest and probably the most important book festival in the world today, which is marvellous. It takes place at the same time as the Edinburgh International Festival and the Edinburgh Fringe, and so during August Edinburgh really becomes, I suppose, the cultural capital of the world, really, because there are over 2,000 shows a day during the festival, and that's just the festival and fringe. There's an awful lot going on.